But say we shared the power I had when I sat in this room. What would you do with it?
Hey everyone, Marty, Mitch, and Esme here. We're back with another episode of Tales from the Borderlands, Choice Cast, Spoiler Cast. This one's centered around Episode 4, Escape Plan Bravo, the penultimate episode. That means second to last.
Good usage,
That's
Marty.
how words work. So yeah, we're going to talk about our decisions. We're going to talk about what happened in the 9-minute episode. We're going to cry with the death of a beloved character. But first off, we want to just start with sort of where we were in this episode, coming off, the events of Episode 3. Obviously ended on that Empire Strikes Back kind of note where everything seemed doom and gloom for our group of raggedy heroes. And that's sort of where we start off, is right after that. The characters are all like captured and in terrible situations. Athena's being taken away to Lilith.
Which leads into PreSequel.
Which leads into PreSequel, yeah, which is interesting because I just rewatched the ending of PreSequel today and saw how that sort of ties into that. And so that opening scene where they're sort of hatching the plan of how they're going to get the Hyperion and how they're going to actually break into Handsome Jack's vault. What did you guys think of the scene where Reese has to get Vasquez's face, but it turns out the face isn't there anymore, and oh god, that was gross.
It went on for way too long.
Yeah. So you get into that sort of it's like whatever, like the halfway house for psychos, and you have to rip his face off.
It was sort of like a nap palace.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all just like chilling there, ripping the faces off. And yeah, that was probably one of the grosser things we've ever had to do.
The eye thing is still
This series has really pushed the gross, because there's also that in the previous episodes, the gouging of the eye.
Oh, that was
god, and the guy's still alive.
Yeah.
That was so good. Horrible. Yeah, so I mean, I think the first 20 minutes or so felt really slow and sort of especially after the really impactful ending of 3.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to maintain that momentum, and it doesn't really, I think, until you get back to Scooter's
Yeah,
garage.
they have a couple really good moments where basically the entire first half hour I kind of wish was truncated into one prolonged montage.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had at the very beginning, it's like, all right, guys, here's the plan. And they do the montage, and you're interacting with stuff, and you're making people do cool stuff
Mm-hmm.
with just quick time events. And that stuff was really cool because it moved the story along. It was very rapid. It was hypothetical, but it at least gave you an idea of what was to come.
Yeah.
So there's the rapidity of that kind of reinforces that urgency from the last episode where everything is messed up, everyone is in trouble, things are bad, and then episode 4 opens and it's nothing really happens for a bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of slow. And it's no, there are so many things to worry about. We need to move.
Yeah,
And
and
it just goes so
Vaughn is
slowly.
gone, and he's just sort of a throwaway line, and then at one point
Yeah.
he has
The radio's
communications
in.
with you, and it's all garbled, and you can't
Wait,
really
did
hear.
you tell him whether or not he should leave when he asked you? Because I told him he should run for it if...
Oh, at the end of 3?
No, on 4. There's a moment where in the back, and he asks you, do you think I should go when you go up there? And you have the choice to tell him, actually, I think you should stay to keep safe, or you should actually leave.
Vaughn?
With the...
Wait, I didn't have that.
I did
moment.
not have that at all.
Oh, I did.
Interesting.
Maybe it was just
you
maybe
and
this was
I-
all dependent on stuff from episode 3.
Yeah, you and I I think we had the same thing where, you get a phone call from Vaughn. He's like, hey man, I'm at the, gonna be it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Goodbye.
no,
Yeah.
I
You're like,
actually
"What?"
had a moment with him where he's actually when you guys go up there, I don't really know what to do, and he asked me, he's like, do you think I should go? And so you have this choice of endangering his life by telling him go for it, or maybe you should just stay with the goons back on Punch.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Neat.
And so we're at Scooter's place, and how do you guys deal with Scooter? 'Cause Scooter's like that lovable character to where you never want to disappoint Scooter.
Yeah, I tried to roleplay it as closely to Fiona's perspective as I could. She clearly is a little bit weirded out by him. She doesn't really
weird
like
dude.
him, but she's we should be nice to him.
Yeah.
So I be sweet to him, and then I just like that dynamic of being sweet to him because she knows he's a lovable guy, but
Yeah.
at the same time it's just oh my God.
kind of a weirdo. And I love how he just kept talking. He's like, I wish one of you guys would talk now. Just stop me from talking. And then there's quick QTEs where you can high five him, which I was
Which
I
did love
completely
that.
missed, actually. I did.
I
He's
missed
like,
it.
all right, I guess we
well,
can.
in fact, yeah, you probably had a whole lot of high fives left in that relationship, right?
Did you miss any of during the montage at the beginning? The here's the plan montage. Did you miss any of the QuickTime events?
No, I didn't. I don't remember.
They're
it.
so good.
Oh, you were telling me about the one where you're hacking into the computer and you have to hit the different buttons depending on how he's hacking. And
Yeah, it's you just hit Q and Reese is hacking Vasquez's computer. And then at the end, if you hit E, he like does the last button press. But if you miss it, everything errors out. It's like hack detected, system failure. And Reese is just like, it'll probably work. And then it just cuts back to that.
That's so good. Yeah. That is so good.
And I wonder how many of those there were. Like, I wonder what happens if you mess up every
Just
single
every
one
time.
of those. Yeah.
It'll figure itself
Yeah,
out.
it's fine. It's good.
And that's the thing. Episode 4 is really funny. Like, it maintains
yeah.
the comedy and the spirit of Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, totally.
And that is so good.
Yeah.
But I just wish there was any amount of story progression. Like,
Yeah,
I just
I mean,
felt
it's
like
tough.
really
You get
limited.
these just small threads of when you meet Springs again, Athena's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, how did you guys deal with that? Where she said, like, did Athena ask anything about me before? Did she say anything about me before she got captured?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I lied to her and said, yeah, she told me she loved you.
Me too.
Yeah,
And
I
was
totally
like,
lied, but I'm pretty sure my reason was not the same moral reason. Probably you guys.
Why?
Did. I chose just because I really needed her to get the rocket.
You're
Yeah,
right.
she loved you. Give me the
Like,
thing.
Whatever's-
whatever makes it work. Please hurry up.
I was halfway there. I was the middle between you two.
No, I just believe in love.
I see. The thing is, like, I don't know that Athena does. So I wonder, because she's like, when she gets back, I'm gonna marry the piss
Yeah,
out of that
exactly.
girl.
What if
I'm
she
like,
gets back
what
and
if
is
Athena
like,
says no?
what did you do that for?
Like, what if this destroys their relationship? Because
Yeah.
she's like, I'm not there yet.
Oh.
God, I'm gonna die alone. That's awful. All right, so we get into space. We have that cool. I mean, the credit scenes have always been rad in this. Also, the credit scene was about halfway through the
Right.
episode.
Yeah, you get to that point and you're just like, wait, I have so much more to go.
Yeah. But then you get to space, and obviously the big thing is Scooter's death,
Yeah.
which is huge. Which is, it has ramifications for Borderlands games, past, present, future.
Yep. Yeah.
How's this universe going to deal with the fact that this character, who's sort of a pivotal, B-tier character, is just gone from the universe now?
Yeah.
So what did you like? What were your final interactions with him like?
So when he first was on the ship and was saying, he's going to launch his advertising
Yeah, yeah.
satellite. At first I told him, no, don't do it.
God,
and
you're
he gave
heartless, dude.
because I was
did
just
too.
reacting immediately to it, just because I was like, oh my god, no, we need to get to the mission. And his face, it just breaks you in half. And I just wish there was an option to be like, hey, I'm
sorry,
joking,
just
I'm joking.
kidding, just
We
kidding.
can totally do it.
Yeah.
And then when you finally go out into space and you're fixing everything, it was super unexpected.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't expecting it because I didn't even remember that he was out there with me because
Yeah,
I
that
actually
he was on
missed
the
the
other one.
prompt
Yeah.
to put the hand in
Oh,
at
yeah.
first. So like it took a bit for me to get to his scene. And then when he's just like, all right, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna do my thing and sacrifice myself to be a hero. And I'm just actually like for a second taken aback, like Tails is actually going to make this decision of taking
Yeah.
away this character.
And this isn't a thing like you don't have any choice in the matter.
Yeah, you
like,
can't
he's
save him
dying.
anyway.
You can choose how he spends his last minute.
Yeah, and I kind of took away the role playing part of how I want Fiona to be in my game to actually how I would react. Like I was actually saying, no, there has to be another way.
Yeah,
like
totally.
because I thought there had to be
Yeah.
another way. And I chose stage 3 when he was explaining like what are we gonna do once we're out there, and stage 3 was make out, but
Yeah.
all she does is peck him on the cheek.
That's cute.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I give him a hug.
You gave him a hug. I traded hats with
I
him.
didn't have a hat.
So I still had a hat, and
How'd
so
you have a hat in
we
space?
traded
It doesn't
hats.
make any
It was a real
sense.
weird moment because we both like took our visors off. I'm like, your faces are gonna blow up.
Oh well, for the peck you take the visors off.
But then
too.
we swapped hats, and then I had his little baseball cap. And he
cute.
was really happy when he caught a ride. And then did you launch his satellite afterwards?
Yeah,
man.
What was the message you put on there?
See you, space cowboy.
That's what I did.
I did catch a ride.
Oh, that's cute.
Get outta here.
And then didn't they drop like a Cowboy Bebop
Yeah.
reference?
The guards on the ground level when they're like, "Yo, what is that thing up there?" and they point to the sign because they noticed that like, "What'd you drop that satellite out for?" They're like, "Is that? I think it's like an anime thing or something."
Yeah, that was like really good. I'm like,
awesome.
oh, that worked well. Okay, so we get to Hyperion, and Yvette's there, and it turns out Yvette turned on you right after the events of episode 1.
I did really like how they handled that reveal. Like she walks out to Vasquez and is mad at him, and you're like, "All right, Yvette, I don't like Vasquez," and she like starts talking bad about Reese,
And you're like,
and
"Oh."
turning on Reese, and you're like,
And you
"Oh,
see like
man."
Reese's responses as Vasquez. They're like, "But weren't you friends? Like
Yeah.
you don't have any sympathy right now. Like you don't have no remorse." Yeah, I thought that was really good. How long did you sort of keep up the con with her?
the entire time.
The entire time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, never
because.
let on.
Yeah, she let on immediately that like there was a deal happening.
Yeah.
So when I was actually about to click on, hey, it's actually me or something to that manner, she started talking. It's like, oh,
I did.
So you
I
let
did.
her know?
I let her know,
How'd she handle
and
it?
then she
Like, what did she do?
she went to radio the guards, and Handsome Jack took control of my arm, pulled out a stun baton, and stunned her.
Ooh.
And like Reese was sort of like, I didn't want to do that, but okay, we're doing it.
There is a moment later in the episode where you have to stun her regardless. Like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
coming at you.
Yeah, I imagine her character has to get out of the way. It's
Nope.
no,
Nope.
Nope.
For me,
Where
I'm
is
pretty
she-
sure that at one point she just walked out of my office, or she has that standoff in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And oh,
Were you able to talk her out of it?
yeah, I think so.
Oh, no, because she came at me, although very slowly. So it wasn't really much of a threat. She actually just walked into my baton. It was really interesting.
Yeah, like in the office, I'm pretty sure I just
talked
left
your way
the
out of it?
office going
And
You
like,
convinced
whatever,
her,
man.
I guess
Yeah.
you convinced her of
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. Okay, it's all coming back to me. I threatened her.
Yeah.
I was like, twice I did this. I was
Yeah.
like, if I go down, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm sure I am. And Reese has this really great explanation of like, you think that I am not gonna turn on you?
Yeah.
I just went down to Pandora.
Yeah.
And I lived. And I came back with the body parts of your best friend. You think that I'm not gonna turn on you?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how this goes. And she like freaks out and is like, okay, yeah, let's.
Oh, that's
cool.
awesome.
I'll give you
so
another
you
day.
maintained almost as Vasquez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Sort of one of the final big things was as Fiona, how you have to sort of take over that tour guide and everything. You're going through the Handsome Jack tour. And then at the end, you're like, you have to get arrested. How did you guys choose to get arrested? So
I chose to shoot the diamond pony.
that's
Me
what I
too.
did.
And
Damn it, that's what we all did.
We're all in
And then
sync
it
this
starts
episode.
bleeding.
And she's like, why is it
why is it
bleeding?
bleeding?
Why is it bleeding?
And then like Gordis is just like, maybe it's strawberry jam. Let's go with strawberry jam.
Gordis had so many great lines in this
Yeah.
episode, but not enough. Like Gordis
Yeah.
is sort of getting the back seat, but there was that really great scene where she and August are in the truck, and he's like, oh, I'm stuck in here with this thing, and she's like, but I like you so much.
Gorgeous is so good.
So great.
Yeah, Ashley
so
Johnson
innocent.
is phenomenal as Gorgeous. God, now I want to go back and see what the other one is because you could like attack the painting.
Yeah, you, like,
sort of
dive
the
through the
mural.
painting.
Yeah.
That whole scene, the tour scene, felt totally lifeless to me. Like it just didn't need to happen.
I didn't really see
Like
the
it was
purpose of
funny, but it seemed like it was buying a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it was a way for you to realize like, oh, we can't get in through the front door.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, it's like so much of this episode felt like it was just wasting my time.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, I sort of agree with you there, but it wasn't until the very end. I thought the last scene is finally the scene where it's like, oh, okay, this is where it's going. Like, this is what it's setting up, and it's when you finally make it to Handsome Jack's office.
After you skip the shootout.
After you skip the shootout, yeah, the big shootout, yeah. So you get up to the office and you find the third part of Gordis's relay, whatever, and you have this really cool moment. They're really, sort of poignant moment for me where you're looking at the desk and you can remark on a portrait of a little girl, and it's Handsome Jack's daughter, and he has this like very human moment where he's like, yeah, that's my little girl. I miss her. Like,
I should get in touch with her.
I should get in touch with her sometime. And it's
Good
like,
luck, dude.
yeah, anyone who plays Borderlands 2 knows how that turned out. So we finally, the last major decision is when, Jack is sort of like, this was my plan all along, was for you to become me. Like, you could take this over, and yeah, I wasn't a good guy, but you seem to have what's in you you could be a good leader. You could be a great leader. So did you guys accept his proposal, or were you like, no, man, you're a psychopath. I don't want any of this.
I also was taken back first though, that
Yeah.
he would actually have like that sense of like conscious of like, do you think you actually earned all of this because it was that whole joke of janitor to.
Totally.
It was really interesting that they went that way with his character. I chose to accept it, to be like, yeah, let's rule together.
Yeah.
And then when you you link up, and then all of a sudden he takes over the entire space station, and he's just like, Reese is now your ruler, and like the entire time I'm waiting for him to just be like, psych.
Yeah.
I just needed you to upload me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then now I'm gonna take over, but he's like, no.
Which is sort of what happens if you reject him.
Yeah.
I decided I accepted, and I sat down, and the thing came out, and I was like, oh, like I'd be unleashing him. Like he'd be getting in my head. Who knows how that would affect Reese? Where is Jack gonna go? I don't know. And I backed out.
Yeah.
Like I had the option to back out or accept it after I accepted it. And I was like, no. And they have a tiff. Like they blow up at each other.
Yeah, they're screaming at each other.
Yeah. And Jack is like, all right, forget it. And he just uses it. He takes control of the arm. He sits Reese down, and Jack's in and gets free. And
Yeah.
he's like, this could have been you, but now it's me.
Yeah, so that's the. I mean,
That's
it ends
interesting.
where you seem like Reese is still like they're.
Reese is
they're-
completely still in control.
Yeah, and that the relationship's amicable, whereas with ours, like Jack is like, all right, I'm done. Like this
Yeah,
is no,
he's
your
like-
body's mine now. Like I'm just taking control.
Your soul.
Yeah, and he takes control of Reese's voice, and like Sasha, when Fiona messages him, like, hey, are we all good up there? He's like, yeah, I'll be down in a second. And then you get to that scene and you realize it was Jack saying it,
Yep.
Oh,
and
that's so
not
interesting.
Reese. So yeah, it definitely ends. For me, my episode ended on this somehow even more of a dour note than episode 3.
Yeah.
Because obviously everyone, Fiona's dealing with the fact that Sasha just got kidnapped by Yvette, and then obviously who knows what the hell's happening with Reese and Jack. And man, there's a lot.
Where's
so
Loaderbot? I
many
just realized we left Loaderbot on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Loaderbot's back with Dave Fennoy. They're both hanging.
Yeah.
They're both hanging on the ship.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of ground to cover in episode 5.
Episode 5 is probably going to be like 9 hours long.
hours
This
long.
conversation about the end of the series will be 12 hours long.
This is hour 12 of our choice cast.
still
Smoking a
talking
cigarette
about
and
it.
just like jerking a snifter of brandy. I haven't seen my kids in days. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be huge. Like, this is honestly that episode 4. I've been disappointed by Walking Dead's episode 4 and by Wolf Among Us' episode 4. But both of those rebounded and had phenomenal episode 5s. So that's where I'm at right now is like, what's going to happen? How are we going to get back to the framing narrative? Like, what happened to Vaughn? What's going to happen to all these
Will we
characters?
finally
the guy in
find
the
out?
suit?
Yeah,
Who's the dude in
exactly.
the suit? Yeah, is like, are they going to get to a vault? Is Fiona going to become a vault hunter? Is Sasha going to die? We think Sasha's going to die.
Sasha's totally doomed.
I don't want her to die. I want her
She's
to
too
I
great.
feel like the boyfriend who's been like bitter is going to sacrifice himself. His Sasha's in a
I
predicament.
can see that. He's
Okay.
he's shown moments of like he actually kind of likes
Like he
her.
actually like it's like hurting him
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the mission goes
Interesting.
on.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back with another Tales from the Borderlands, episode 5, Choice Cast, Spoiler Cast, in a few months probably.
Yeah, whenever this thing comes out.
When episode 5 comes out. So for everything else, Tales from the Borderlands and Telltale, you're already in the right place. IGN.